Hi, welcome to the second of 5 blogs relating to the stack and tilt swing pattern. During our first video we discussed stack and tilt's 3 fundamentals along with suggesting some setup changes. What I'd like to take the opportunity to do in this video is look further at the stack and tilt backswing and suggest some alterations that you can make to implement more power and more consistency into your golf swing. One of the main reasons why club golfers struggle to gain any sort of consistency is that traditional swinging methods tend to rely heavily on timing. During the backswing, the body weight moves away from the target and then has to be returned back to its original position in order to make solid contact. Also, whilst the shoulders are turning on quite a flat plane, the arms are working on quite an upright plane. So consequently, these two movements have to be coordinated. So although this is the type of swing that you see demonstrated by a lot of the world's leading players, it is not the simplest way to swing a golf club. So the main goal of the stack and tilt swing pattern is to get the player swinging in a more circular manner, which is good for power, whilst also getting the player to stay more centred during the golf swing, which is key for more consistent contact. So let's take a look at the stack and tilt backswing, and in particular 3 aspects that, if implemented, can get you hitting the golf ball as solidly as possible, as straight as possible, as often as possible. One key aspect of the stack and tilt golf swing is the way that the body weight moves during the backswing. What traditional teaching methods would have you believe is that during the backswing, from an evenly distributed weight position, 50-50 at address, maybe sometimes even 60-40 favouring the right, the golf swing moves the weight away from the target that positions you, if you will, behind the golf ball in a better position to release the golf club. However, what stack and tilt suggests is that we stay more centred on the golf ball during the backswing. In order for this to take place, from a setup where the body weight positions is favouring the front foot 55% to 45%, we need to get the weight so that it moves progressively further forward during the backswing in order to keep us stacked or centred over the golf ball. Therefore, what we're looking for is a position where, or a situation where, the body weight progressively moves from 55% favouring the left to 65% favouring the left to 75% favouring the left. The one key thing to remember here is when you start looking at stack and tilt and the stack and tilt swing pattern, there's a lot of suggestion that this is getting us to reverse pivot. A key thing to remember here is that it is only a reverse pivot if the weight then moves away from the target during the downswing. So a reverse pivot will have the weight moving forward in the backswing, but then has the weight moving away from the target in the downswing. Where stack and tilt differs is the fact that the body weight moves forward in the backswing, but then continues to move further forward in the downswing, so it is not a reverse pivot. Remembering that the 2 things we're trying to achieve is consistent contact, keeping centred, and also swinging in a more circular manner, another aspect we need to look at is the right knee during the takeaway. Traditionally, the right knee, we're trying to maintain the flex that is in the right knee during the backswing. And again, there's a common misconception that the less hip turn you have, the further you will hit the golf ball. And yet an observation such as Bubba Watson has approximately 90 degrees of hip turn during his backswing with a driver, and there's no one out there who hits it further with driver than Bubba Watson. So maintaining the right knee flex too much restricts the amount the hips turn. If the hips can't turn, we're going to find it very difficult to swing in a circle. Consequently, what's going to happen is at some point in the backswing, the arms are going to be forced upwards too much, and we've now lost the ability to swing from the inside without manipulating the golf club too much in the backswing. In the downswing. Also, with the right knee maintaining its flex too much, when the hips stop turning, the body weight must move to the right. So we'll get to a point in the takeaway with traditional swinging, keeping the right knee flexed. We can't get any further and stay centred, so the centre of the swing starts to move off. So what we're going to try and do is just back off a little bit on the right knee, let the right knee flex. We don't necessarily have to start locking the right knee out, but we certainly don't want to try and maintain the flex in that. It's very, very contrived. It limits you greatly in regards to your ability to swing in a circle and stay centered. So what we'd like to see is during the takeaway, just let that right knee straighten a little bit, and the way to get a feeling for that is try and feel that the right hip is going to work a little bit higher on the way back than the left hip. Just allow that right leg to straighten a little bit. That's a key aspect to the stack and tilt swing pattern. So along with making solid contact, the key aspect, or the other key aspect of the stack and tilt swing pattern, is to get the player to swing in more of a circular manner. This is far better for power. If you relate this to other sports, for instance football, if I was to swing my foot straight towards the camera, then I would hit the ball quite straight. But if I wanted to hit it straight with a degree of distance, then I would have to come and swing the leg a little bit more on an arc. That's much, much better for power. From my own experience, both playing and teaching, one of the problems with the ability to swing in a circle, as well as the changes we've suggested in freeing up the hips by setting up differently and allowing the right knee to just straighten up a little bit during the backswing, is the ability for the player to visualise that circle. Most players traditionally lay clubs down on the floor in a line, and from my own experience, as I said, both playing and teaching, if you put a line down, players will tend to swing up and down that line. The takeaway goes up and down the line too much, we get the arms very much in front of us, and the only way we can then get the club on the inside is by manipulating the golf club in the downswing, or what we tend to do, and what 99% of the golfing public do, is swing back down on a very upright line and cut across the ball, imparting slice spin on it. So what I'd like to do is introduce a little bit of a change in the way you lay your clubs down when you practice, and give you some checkpoints to work with whilst out on the driving range. First of all, we've got the clubs down here, two clubs that are parallel to the target line. What I'd then like you to do is turn each club in approximately 20 degrees. This now gives you a lovely visualisation of the shape of your golf swing. So it gives us a circle that we can trace during the golf swing. Now we're going to look at this in relation to the backswing today, and we'll look a little bit more at the downswing in the coming videos that we send out to you. How this works in relation to your backswing is, during the backswing from a setup with the feet flared out and the weight favouring the front foot, we want the club and the hands to trace the club that is down on the floor. So you can see there, that gets the club working inside, gets the image of the arms and the hands being in and the club being out, if you will. So we're going to trace the hands and the club, are going to trace the club on the floor during the early part of the takeaway. As the hips then continue to turn, the right leg straightening slightly, we're going to get the left arm, or the lead arm, as we get to parallel with the ground, should also now be tracing the club that's on the ground. So there's a couple of positions there that you can work on whilst out on the driving range. Club and hands tracing the club on the ground, and then as you approach chest height, the lead arm, the left arm for the right-handed golfer, should now be on the same angle as the shaft on the ground. So there you have three key aspects of the stack and tilt backswing that can help you stay much more centered during the backswing, or stacked over the ball during the backswing, whilst also allowing you to swing more in a circular manner, which is more conducive to generating power and presenting the club from the inside with much less manipulation. During the next video, we're going to take a little bit closer look at the stack and tilt downswing and how it relates to getting the ball, or getting the club more from the inside, and also getting some sort of better launch on the golf ball. Good luck with it, and if you need anything between now and then, feel free to contact us via email, phone, or visit the website www.hotwoodgolf.co.uk.